Good evening. Welcome to Carnegie Town Hall. I call to order this regular meeting of the City Planning Commission. Before we get started tonight, there's two pieces of business we're going to attend to. I'd like to invite Steve Randall to come up to the podium for just a minute. He's going to be very upset at me. He didn't want any of this. This is Steve's last evening with us tonight. Steve has been a member of the Planning Commission for 18 years, I believe. He feels it's time for him to retire. Some of us don't think so, but some of us do too. And Steve, I'm going to speak for everybody here on the commission when I say I think over the years we've appreciated your professionalism, your thoroughness, your demeanor, and you'll be missed. But, you know, life goes on. For you that don't know it, Steve is an artist. And I know he plans to spend a lot of time doing some painting. Anyway, Steve, thank you so much for your 18 years of service. And you're welcome anytime, you know that. You'll be sitting on the other side of sitting out in the audience the next time around. But
that would be kind of fun.
Good luck to you, Steve.
Thank you very much.
Our second order of business, I would like to acknowledge Denny Pearson. Denny?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Last month we started a new feature of honoring previously approved Planning Commission ordinances and so forth, and we're going to do this each month for those people who have went beyond the minimum and really improved their properties and their businesses far beyond expectations. Tonight, we're going to recognize Lamb's Vietnamese Foods, located at 1600 East Rice Street in Sioux Falls. Lamb's Vietnamese Foods is a family-owned and operated restaurant offering a collection of Vietnamese cuisine. This picture shows what it looked like before they took over. In 2005, the Lambs moved from Southern California to Sioux Falls following their son after receiving a job offer here. In 2007, they decided to pursue their dream of opening a restaurant and came before the Board of Adjustment for several variances to modify the existing retail office building at the corner of Rice and North Blauvelt. Again, another picture of what it looked like in 2010. At that time, the existing property had minimal landscaping and a dirt parking lot, a high visibility corner. The Lambs spent the next couple of years improving and developing their property into an attractive and desirable location. They transformed the entrance tower into a passageway that signifies their Vietnamese heritage. The miniature replica of Ben Thanh Market is known for a place to gather, eat, and meet people. The Planning Commission is recognizing Lamb's Foods tonight for the outstanding and successful development of their property at Rice Street, and I'm told they have an awesome egg roll as well. Mr. Chairman.
Denny, thank you so much for that. At this time, we'll move on and to approve our consent and regular agenda items. Denise, if you would be good enough to read the consent agenda items, and folks, you can follow along with this on the overhead. We'll try to go through these as Denise reads them.
Item 1, approval of October 2nd, 2013 minutes of regular meeting. Item 2, plats. Item 3, 2013-08-12 rezone agricultural district and windswept timber estates PD to the RS1 residential district and RC recreation conservation district for allowed uses located at 7901 Southwestern Avenue. Item 4, 2013-10-03 conditional use permit in the I-1 Light Industrial District to allow motor vehicle repair located at 2100 North Westport Avenue. Item 5, 2013-10-06 conditional use permit in the RS2 residential district to construct a neighborhood utility facility located at 5800 West 69th Street. Item 6. 2013-10-07 special use permit in Sub-Area A River Crossing Planned Development District to allow on-sale alcohol located at 5015 South Western Avenue, Suite 260. Item 7. 2013-10-08 conditional use permit in the C4 Planned Commercial District to allow on-sale alcohol located at 5400 West 26th Street. Item 8. 2013-10-11 conditional use permit in the I-1 Light Industrial District to allow motor vehicle display and sales located at 3501 South Norton Avenue. Item 9. 2013-10-15 conditional use permit in the C2 General Commercial District for an on-sale alcohol establishment located at 2309 West Madison Street. Item 10. 2013-10-16 conditional use permit in the C2 General Commercial and C4 Planned Commercial District for a retail store greater than 15,000 square feet and on a parcel larger than an acre located at 1725 West 41st Street. Item 11. 2013-10-02 Final Development Plan in Sub-Area E, Granite Valley Planned Development District to construct commercial storage units located at 1501 East Dyke Drive. Item 12. 2013-10-05 Final Development Plan in Sub-Area D, Diamond Valley Planned Development District to construct a convenience store with gas dispensing located at 6401 South Cliff Avenue. Item 13. 2013-10-13 Final Development Plan in Sub-Area A, Merlin Roy's Addition Planned Development District to construct a building addition located at 3621 North Potsdam Avenue. Item 14. 2013-10-04 Design Review in the 49th Street Design Review District to allow a main floor addition located at 3823 South Kiwanis Circle. Item 15. 2013-10-14 Design Review in the 49th Street Overlay District to allow a sign with more than 12 inches of clearance from the ground to the start of the sign face located at 3300 West 49th Street.
Thank you, Denise. Are there any objections from anyone in the audience in regards to any of the consent agenda items that we've read off this evening? Seeing none, are there any objections from any of the planning commissioners on any of the items that we've read off this evening? Well, would you come up to the podium, ma'am? Let me step back and say, are there any objections from the audience to any items listed on the consent agenda? Did you have one on the consent agenda you wanted discussed?
Yes, item number 9.
Item number 9. Hey, if you'd sit down, we'll put that when we get to the regular agenda, and we'll that'll be one we'll visit about. Was there anyone else here that had any questions or concerns about anything on the consent agenda? If not, I would ask again, were there any commissioners that had any objections, anything on the consent agenda? If not, Chair would entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, Jason Bieber, planning staff. We did have a request for item 7 to be deferred to the December 4th Planning Commission meeting.
Item 7, you're asking for a deferral?
Deferral, yep.
Anything else, Jason? All right, Chair would entertain a motion regarding the consent agenda.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to amend the motion to defer item 7 and move item 9 to the regular agenda.
Very good. Would there be a second to that motion?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Having said that, just as part of the discussion, what we'll do is we'll take item number 7 first on the
Item 9.
item 9. Seeing none, all in favor of the amended consent agenda will signify by saying yes.
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 All opposed? Consent agenda is approved. If you're Oh, thank you. It's been pointed out to me we've approved the amendment. Now we have to
Vote
vote
on
on approving.
The consent agenda.
The agenda.
Now you'll vote to approve it as amended.
Yep.
Vote to approve it as amended. All in favor will signify by saying yes.
Yes.
All opposed? It's approved as amended. If you were here for a consent agenda item, you're more than welcome to stay, but you're not required to. Oh,
Item 9?
There they go.
well, we got to do the regular agenda now. But
Yep, the approval of the regular agenda.
is there a motion to approve would there be a motion to approve the regular agenda?
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the regular agenda,
That'd be
Second.
including item number 9.
including item number 9.
Would there be a second to that?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor will signify by saying yes.
Yes.
All opposed? Regular agenda is approved. We will start the regular agenda with item number 9. Jason.
Jason Bieber, planning staff, City of Sioux Falls. This is an application by Gerald Adams for conditional use permit in the C2 General Commercial District for an on-sale alcohol establishment. The applicant is looking at reopening the Shooters, the old Shooters Pub. The existing building and parking lot are already there, and no improvements are expected at this time, and therefore setbacks are taken as is, and additional landscaping will not be required. Conditional use permit was originally approved for this on-sale alcohol establishment in May 5th of 2010 for a Carrie Perkison with the following stipulation that it was just for that applicant only. So the new applicant would now like to reopen that on-sale alcohol establishment, Shooters, and call it Shooters 2 Pub. And since he is a new applicant, he has to go back through the conditional use process for an on-sale alcohol establishment. And because this application has provided clarity to indicate the location, nature, and extent of the work proposed, staff does recommend approval of this conditional use permit with the following stipulation: approved for this applicant only. And conditional use permits are uses that are permitted within the zoning districts with conditions. All conditional use permits must meet building and zoning codes, and conditional use permit approvals or denials are resolution and are final unless appealed. And I will entertain any questions you may have.
Jason, thank you. Would there be any questions for Jason? Seeing none, thank you, Jason. Is the applicant here?
Come forward.
If you'd be good enough to come up to the podium. If you'd be good enough to identify yourself.
My name is Tanya Merrigan. I'm here on behalf of the applicant who's ill tonight.
Is there anything you might want to add to Jason's report? that might or might not be important to us?
The only improvements would be remodeling on the inside, is not even remodeling, I'm sorry, but painting and reflooring and replacing all fixtures that were removed by the prior lender. So there's no reconstruction involved.
Would there be any questions for this young lady? Seeing none, thank you.
Okay.
Is there someone else here today? Is there anyone else here that would like to address item number 9?
My name is Wanda Clark, and we own West Sioux Ceramics, my husband and I, and we are the building directly west of the said location for Shooter's Pub. We've been at that location for 43 years, so we know quite a bit of the history of this area. Parking has become a major issue in our area. Our biggest concern for this on sale now is going to be the parking. When you have a bar, people come and stay for a long time. And so parking is really not an issue because they have a parking lot in the back, and the majority of clients will use that. So then parking is available for our clientele that are more of a come and go, maybe stay half hour, 45 minutes at our establishment. When you move it to an on-sale alcohol, now people are coming and going, just running in for a minute to pick up their bottle. I'm not interested in giving up my 4 parking spots, 2 on the street, 2 in my driveway, to people that just want to run in for a minute. In that, on the south side of the street, we have very limited parking, 2 in front of our building and approximately 6 going down the way. There's 2 other establishments already in there that on and off have customers come and go, but they pretty much use through the day and the evening hours their parking. We close at 5, but we do come and go some in the evening with our business. So our main concern is parking, and we need to look to the future. I don't plan to be out of there in a year. The city intends to take away basically all our off-street parking next year, or in 2015. So we will lose all off-street parking, and they're working with us to make a parking lot like in our front lawn area. But in 2015, this problem becomes exacerbated because now there is no off-street parking for this bar and off-sale liquor. So then my driveway becomes a prime target area. So we just wish you would consider the parking issue and wonder if the new clients have a plan for parking. Because I don't want to spend my whole day chasing people out of my limited driveway. Thank you.
Well, Wanda, hang on just
Oh,
a
okay.
second. There might be some questions.
Okay.
Would anyone have any questions for Wanda?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Danny.
Wanda, there's several businesses throughout Sioux Falls where they are adjacent to each other, and parking becomes kind of an issue in those cases as well. Many of those businesses have decided to put up signs that says parking for XYZ business only. Have you done that, or have you participated in that?
Yes, there have been signs.
That hasn't helped.
No, and because the way, several years ago, the way the area was redesigned when the original road construction happened, I think it was like 7 or 8 years ago, the sidewalk was made extraordinarily large, so we even have trouble with cars pulling up on the sidewalk area, in that area. And signs have been of little to no use for that problem. And we've always had a sign on our building that it's parking for our facility only, and we have, on many occasions, had to chase people out. And, you know, they're not always friendly when you ask them to move their car, and we have even, you know, had to say, well, you know, maybe you can move, or my forklift will sit behind your car for a while till you move, you know. So we would rather not have that hassle. It has been a hassle in the past, and we see it being just, it's going to get worse. And 2015, then it's going to become unbearable for us.
I think in 2015, are they going to do away with the on-street parking? not the off-street part.
Yeah, we're going to lose, they're going to widen it to 4 lanes and turning lanes. They don't know what they're going to do at the Nightmare Corner there for sure yet, but we know that we will lose our off-street parking.
Wanda,
That's a given.
You've had a business there for some time,
43 years, yes.
43 years, and it is part of that building.
Yes.
Where there's that building and there's a number of tenants.
No, we're the building west.
You're in the building
We're the building
west,
west,
okay.
yes. Yeah.
Right.
And our driveway is quite large. And so over the years, people have felt free to use that to go into the bar, and we usually ask them to move. And, well, sometimes, it's 50-50.
Wanda, could that happen with any business that's there, though?
But we think with on-sale liquor, it's worse. No, because the businesses like down the street, we might have to go find somebody, but there's quite a few doors away from us. If you go east, then that's obvious. That's not parking for that whole section of businesses.
Being there 43 years, you know the history of that building. It seems to me that there's been a tavern at that building,
has
one
been,
or two,
yes,
for as long as I can remember.
Yeah. But this is
Always been a chronic problem?
Oh, yes, yeah. And we just think it's going to get worse, and when they take away our parking out front, then it is going to be a much bigger problem. I don't know if they have a parking solution for 2015 and beyond. So,
Well, Wanda, thank you for having enough courage to come down and voice
Thank
your
you.
opinion. Appreciate that.
Mr.
Any
Chair.
other questions? Wait a minute, just a second, Wanda.
Wanda, have you visited with the potential purveyor of this business about some parking issues?
no, nobody has approached us, so.
Okay. And did you approach the previous owners about some parking issues, or?
They usually would ask clients, not to park in our parking.
Okay.
And they were always, if we went in, they would help us find the person. But it's not an item that I wish to do on a more regular basis.
Okay, thank you.
Was there anyone else here this evening that would like to address item number 9? If not, Chair would entertain a motion on item number 9.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion, make a motion for approval of item number 9.
We have a motion. Would there be a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. That gives us an opportunity to discuss this item. Doesn't necessarily mean that the individual that makes the motion's in favor of it, but we need a motion to be able to get to the discussion part of this. Does anyone have some thoughts they'd like to share in regards to this item?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to know if anybody on staff could give us some insight on this parking issue. It's been around for a while, evidently. What discussions, if any, have taken place about finding some resolution to this?
With that existing multi-tenant building, with them not changing the use, parking's not changing, so they're not required additional parking spaces. If they were going to do an addition or expand the bar area into the adjacent spaces, then they would have to provide some additional parking. But they're going into the existing tenant space that was Shooters for 10, 15 years now. So the ordinance doesn't require them to provide anything extra than what's already there.
But the problem the problem really isn't new. It's been there for all the time, even with a previous tenant, correct?
According to the neighbor, yep, correct.
So it would have been grandfathered in some years back, as long as the use doesn't change. The parking requirement does not
Multi-tenant building is 1 to 200, so it's all. I mean, if Shooters would encompass the entire building, then they would probably go down to 1 to 100 because it'd be a restaurant bar. But once you get to that multi-tenant building, parking's 1 space for every 200 square feet, and that building's been multi-tenant for however many years.
Thank you.
Jason, just for everybody's sake here, what's the difference between on-sale and off-sale liquor?
Well, on-sale, off-sale alcohol are the two definitions we have. On-sale would be you can go in there, get a beer, get wine, get liquor. Off sale is you'd walk in there, grab a 12-pack or a bottle of liquor and take it out, take it to go. On sale alcohol for in a zoning definition doesn't necessarily mean he's going to have liquor in there. He could just be a beer establishment. That's all handled through licensing through Jamie and the licensing department through City Council.
Correct. The reason I asked that question is because she remarked that now customers will be just stopping, grabbing a bottle of beer, and leaving. I think she thought maybe there was going to be a change in the use of this to an off-sale establishment, but it's not. It's strictly on sale.
All they've applied for is on sale right now. In the future, they could apply for an off sale, but the majority of this business is a bar. You go in there and have a beer and leave then.
Okay.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Jesse.
Ms. Merrigan, in the event, since the petitioner isn't here this evening, I hope you will convey the concerns of her neighbor. And obviously, Wanda does something right. If she's got a business that's been there 43 years, I'd like to think we can keep some harmony in the neighborhood and keep everybody happy.
Does anyone else have any thoughts in regards to item number 9? If not, all in favor of the motion will signify by saying yes.
Yes.
All opposed? Motion passes.
Item 16, 2013-10-12, conditional use permit in the I-1 Light Industrial District to allow unscreened outdoor storage within 300 feet of an arterial street located at 910 East Benson Road.
Jason Bieber, planning staff. This is an application by Jeremy Grode. It's a conditional use in the I-1 Light Industrial District to allow unscreened outdoor storage within 300 feet of an arterial street. It's located at 910 East Benson Road. The applicant owns a truck repair business located directly to the south of this proposed property. He is requesting to store trucks awaiting repair on this lot. The submitted site plan does indicate all the required setbacks and landscaping as indicated in the zoning ordinance. And he is also proposing not to hard surface this particular lot, which is allowed by the zoning ordinance since it's trucks and heavy equipment. Because the applicant is requesting a request which may impact adjacent properties, staff recommends a public hearing discussion to determine approval or denial of this conditional use permit. And conditional use permits are permitted within the zoning district with conditions. They do need to meet all zoning and building codes, and conditional use permit approvals or denials are resolutions and are final unless appealed. And I can entertain any questions you may have.
Commissioners, any questions for Jason?
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Nick.
Jason, are there other spots in the city where this has been done, or would this be kind of a precedent-setting thing?
For a storage lot for
unscreened storage near an arterial.
There's quite a few other areas east of Cliff, kind of back in that area where they have unscreened outdoor storage. Essentially, if they weren't on Benson Road, they would need a conditional use to even do it. They're within that certain distance for an arterial street. So there's quite a few other areas within this general part of the city that do have unscreened outdoor storage.
But not near an arterial street, right?
Not an arterial street, they would have to.
Thanks.
Jason, if we were to approve this, we would be approving unscreened outdoor storage. The applicant says it's for trucks, but it wouldn't necessarily need to be trucks if we just approved it for outdoor storage. It could be just about anything, couldn't it?
He could do outdoor storage of goods and materials. However, for them to utilize a non-hard surface or hard surface parking lot, they'd have to keep it to trucks and heavy equipment. When you get down to motor vehicles and things like that, then that surface needs to be hard surface with concrete or asphalt.
And by doing something other than trucks would trigger?
him to
not
pave it.
compliance with the conditional use permit. Parts, truck parts. Would that also trigger non-compliance to a conditional use permit to allowing outdoor storage?
I don't believe he'd be able to store the parts out there, and some of his vehicles that are waiting repair, they can't be a certain demolished or things like that. Otherwise, we would get into a junkyard use, which isn't what he's looking for. And I think the applicant addressed more about what kind of vehicles are actually going to be parked there and what they are awaiting repair. He is proposing to screen the south portion of it along Benson Road. He just didn't want to screen the west, north, and east side of it. So technically, he's screening one side, he's just not screening all of it, and that's where we got into where we said he didn't screen. He doesn't screen the whole thing. It's not unscreened outdoor storage.
He might agree to that, but does this conditional use approval go away if he were to sell the property to somebody else? I mean, I hope you see what I'm getting at. I mean,
Yep.
if we approve unscreened storage, should there be a stipulation that, hey, this be for trucks, that it's not for parts, not for cars? And I know his intention might be one thing, but, you know, who knows what the future might hold in store? That's my only question, and I'm wondering if staff has given that any thought.
We did look at that, but I mean, to us, unscreened outdoor storage is goods and materials, and the definition of goods and materials includes all those things. If you guys would like to put conditions on there to limit them to this or to this applicant only, I mean, that's definitely your right to put those on the specific conditional use.
We're also with this, with outdoor storage, one man's treasure is another man's junk, we've come to discover, and that'd be my only concern, that how wide open does that leave unscreened storage?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Jason, staff is recommending approval, but as I read your report, it recommends a public hearing discussion to determine approval.
In the front of that report there, it should have been changed to, aren't recommending approval or denial. We are recommending to have a public hearing on this because of the possible impacts of the neighbors of this unscreened outdoor storage.
So essentially what you're saying is it's not for final approval, it's to have this public hearing.
Well, it's for final approval for you guys to approve or deny, or if you deferred the case. We essentially wanted the neighbors to have their chance to discuss what their feelings are with this particular application.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, just.
So we will make a decision on this one way or the other. We're just wanting an opportunity to see if any neighbors are interested, and we're going to find out here if they've shown up.
Correct.
Is that correct?
You had any phone calls from any neighbors? Or?
I had a couple of phone calls from some neighbors. I don't think the immediate adjacent neighbors, but some within the area, and they didn't seem to have an issue with it once I described it. So,
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Sean.
Jason, is there a limit by ordinance or other enforcement of the length of time a vehicle can sit in a lot before it's considered derelict or otherwise against ordinance or code?
yeah, I know the health department has certain codes of the inoperable vehicles. If they sit there for so long, then we get into that junkyard definition, which is not what they're going for here. So they would need a different conditional use to be able to do a junkyard.
So there is a time limit of a matter of weeks, I assume?
I'm not exactly sure on it, but they do have a time frame to inoperable vehicles, how long they can sit. Changes kind of the definition of what in our zoning ordinance of what the actual use of this property is.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for Jason? None. Is the applicant here?
Good evening. I'm Jerry Grody. Myself and my brother John out here own Dakota Alignment, which is right across the street from this parcel. And we keep talking about it being storage. It really isn't storage. What the issue we're running into in our business, if you all looking at the same picture I am, if you can see where the on the south side of Benson Road there. Yeah, that's right there is our lot. Now, what we do is we work on trucks, on the trucks and the trailers themselves. We don't store trucks and trailers. We don't even do parts for trucks and trailers. We work on suspension. So when a truck comes into us because their front wheels the tires aren't wearing well, so they come in, we do kingpins, or we do a front alignment, or we do an alignment on the trailer. The problem we have is that in our lot, we're so limited that we have trouble keeping our customers there that day. We're not looking to store, we're not looking for storage. We're looking for a place for our customers to park their truck that day when they bring it in for us to work on it. They have an appointment at Dakota Alignment for us to do an alignment or a kingpin job or whatever it would be there. But if you can see from the picture where he has it circled there, by the time we get half a dozen trailers in there that day to work on, our lot is so stuffed that we can't move around there, and we end up having to park them on the street there on the east or wherever we can to just get them to work in. This parcel to the north across the street isn't really ideal for us for what we're doing, but it's the only parcel that's available up there. So what we'll do is we have, on any given day, we'll have about 22 customers, 25 customers that will come in and we'll work on their truck. So each one is either a tractor or a tractor and a trailer. And so what we'll do now is have them park across the street to the north in the morning when they show up to drop off their tractor, their trailer. We'll run it over into the shop, work on it, take it back over there, and we won't, you can just see how congested our lot is that day, and that was just a random day that the picture was taken. So what we're looking to do is our business is growing. We have a very nice business up there. We have lots of good, loyal customers, but it just, our lot just gets too crowded. So this was something that we believe would take care of this. We're happy to put the setback, the trees, everything, and to screen that against Benson Road, and that's really everything that passing people will see. But we are not looking. We don't junk trucks there. Everybody that comes to us drives their vehicle there, and they drive it away, and they may come in the night before and drop it off, but otherwise we're not looking for storage. We're looking for junk vehicles or parts or anything. What goes on that lot will be leaving in very short order after we take care of them.
Sure.
Yes, Jesse.
Mr. Rhodey, I
Yes.
think too much business is probably a good problem to have. I think it'll be interesting to see if you have any neighbors here that have any concerns that maybe you have alleviated already, or we can address some questions too. Is it typically a 24-hour turnaround or less, or do those jobs run longer sometimes?
Typically 24 hours or less.
Okay.
Generally, they'll bring their vehicle in the morning. We keep a very tight schedule, and they'll bring it in, and we'll have it done within 2 hours or 4 hours or whatever, and turn it around.
Thank you.
So yes, they're in and out virtually always the same day. There's an occasion where they'll park the trailer there overnight because we're going to work on it first thing in the morning or something.
Okay. Thank you.
And the one neighbor, if I might just say, next to the new parcel on the west there on the left is that's the folks that are selling this lot, and so we work closely with them. All right, any other questions?
Jerry,
for me?
what are you doing with your trucks now? How are you operating now?
We just our parking lot is just jammed full lots of days. So we once in a while we'll need to park on the street there on the east, and there really isn't enough room. But we just cram them in to get them done. We just try and be very careful about how when they get there for their appointment that we don't have any extra trucks than we need.
Thank you. Any other questions for Jerry? Thank you, good job. Is there anyone else here this evening that would like to address item number 16? Yes, ma'am. Come on up, please.
My name is Jane Machino, and I'm co-owner of the business that is to the west of the building and also the seller of the property, Machino Wood Floors. Or actually, I'm the owner of the property, but we own the building next door also. But I want to comment that Mr. Grody is the Grodys are very good neighbors across the street. I always notice how they have everything organized, and it's just always a very busy place. It is very busy, but it's run very well, and they just seem to keep everything just tidy. I'm very pleased having them be the purchaser of the lot.
It's your lot, and you own the business next door to the west.
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions for Jane? I don't think so. Thank you. Is there anyone else here that would like to address item number 16? Seeing none, Chair would entertain a motion on item number 16.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 16.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Time for discussion. What's everybody thinking?
Kenny,
I think Mr. Grody, pardon me, Mr. Chairman, I think Mr. Grody did a very good job of clearing my head exactly what's going to happen out there, so I have no particular problems with it.
And Mr. Chair, I think I see where you're coming from on storage after if he would possibly sell this and then that conditional use. So I think if we just add the stipulation is for this applicant only. He's given us a good game plan, everything. If he were to sell it, then they would have to come back for a different conditional use for outside storage. So I'd recommend that we add the one stipulation to it. It's for this applicant only.
Anyone have a problem with that?
Mm-hmm. I move to make that amendment, Mr. Chair.
All right, let me talk to Denise, my expert on Robert's Rules of Order, and see if that's doing that correctly.
Yes, but you haven't had a motion.
On his,
Yeah, we
his-
just second that.
Yeah,
I made a motion to approve.
Okay, then yeah, we're good.
We need just a second to his motion.
Second.
Yes.
So we have a motion and a second to put in a stipulation on this, that it's for these good folks and these good folks only. We've got that motion second. Any discussion in regards to that one? Seeing none, we'll vote on that one first.
Did you get your second?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, then Mr. Fifely says you're good? You're all good.
Thank you. I'm glad Dave's here tonight. All in favor of that second motion will signify by saying yes.
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 All opposed? That motion passes. Now we're back to the main motion.
Mr. Chair, I have a question for staff. If this were all screened in, would he still be required to have the conditional use permit, or is it just because it's unscreened storage?
He wouldn't need a conditional use permit if he would screen all four sides.
Or if he screened all four sides, he wouldn't have to be here?
He wouldn't be here, no. Yep.
Okay.
Do we have to restate the original motion?
No, we're good.
We're good. And we've had a chance to discuss the original motion. So I'm going to ask for the vote. All in favor will signify by saying yes.
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 All opposed?
Yes.
All opposed?
Yeah, I'm opposed.
Oh.
That one. Motion passes. So I think what we just passed is a motion to approve it for this applicant only. Is that correct, Denise?
Sounds good.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Good luck to you, fellas. Item number 17.
2013-10-17 conditional use permit in C3 downtown commercial to allow an on-sale alcohol establishment located at 322 East 8th Street.
Good evening, Commissioners. I'm Diane DeCoyer with the Planning Office. The project before us is Prairie Berry Winery. It's for a conditional use permit in the C3 General Commercial District for a full-service restaurant within 100 feet of residential. The applicant is proposing a retail, wine bar, full-service restaurant and banquet facility located at 322 East 8th Street. The existing building and parking lot appear to meet required setbacks. The parking is located within the C3 Central Business District, and additional parking is not required. Recommendation is, because the application has provided clarity to indicate the location, nature, and extent of the work proposed, staff recommends approval of the conditional use permit for this applicant. A security management plan has been approved by the police department. Conditional use permits are uses permitted within the zoning districts with conditions. All conditional use permits must meet zoning and building codes. All conditional use permits, approvals, or denials are resolutions and are final unless appealed. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Diane, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions. Good job, too, by the way.
Thank you.
Diane is who's replacing our friend Steve Randall. Diane will do a great job, I'm sure. Any questions for Diane?
No, I want to hear about wine downtown.
Thank you, Diane. Great job.
Thank you.
Is the petitioner here?
Good evening. My name is Kate Hayes. I'm here on behalf of Matthew Keck, the petitioner for Prairie Berry Winery. And we are a family-owned winery based out of Hill City, South Dakota at this time. As was mentioned, we would like to bring an event space, wine tasting experience, and restaurant and retail to the Frank Transfer Building. And we have had an opportunity actually to meet with our neighbors that would be in 8th and Railroad, the Crane Center, and also at the actual Frank Transfer Center itself. We had some really wonderful conversations and they're really looking forward to having us, and we're looking forward to working with them as well. So thus far it's been a really great experience, and I'd like to open it up for questions if you have any.
Questions?
When are you going to open?
Well, we have some permit work to do, but we would look forward to opening the first half of 2014.
You're in the process of remodeling the building?
Yes, yep. Well, we're based upon this and other things as well.
Good deal. Any other questions for this applicant? Seeing none, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else here this evening that would like to address item number 17? Seeing none, Chair would entertain a motion on item number 17.
Mr. Chair, I move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second discussion.
Sounds pretty exciting.
It's just one more revitalization of an old existing building, I think, on 8th Street. I think it's been encouraging thus far to see the redevelopment along 8th Street and the success of those businesses who some have moved to bigger locations downtown. So I think it's very exciting. We welcome Prairie Berry East River, and I think it'll be exciting to see what can happen down there.
I do too. All in favor of the motion for item number 17 will signify by saying yes.
Yes.
All opposed? Item number 17 passes. Good luck to you guys. Item 18. Yes.
Mr.
item
Chair, I make a
18.
recommendation for adjournment.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Any discussion? All in favor, will signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Motion passes. We're adjourned.